99 years leasehold at 6,100 PSF. I think this is a record high for sure for a 99-year leasehold project. And just to put into perspective how incredible this is, these are the top 10 PSF transactions in the history of Singapore for non-landed private property. And you can see that there are quite a whole bunch of 5,000 plus to 6,000 plus, but all of them were freehold, except for this new guy that just came in out of nowhere, 99 year. And then he bought this Sky Waters residence, which is not even freehold, but why would people be paying 6,000 plus PSF for 99 year? I think, well, I really don't think that this person is buying for investors for sure. It's more of like a trophy product, and definitely we are talking about ultra high net worth people. Whether the money is coming from a clean source, we don't know. But apparently this was bought by a foreigner. So let's take a look at this article. Skywater Residences, 57th floor, record high price, not just for this entire project, but for all the 99-year leasehold in Singapore. This is incredible, because if you're thinking about 99 years, 3,000 PSF, people are already making so much noise. But this is easily twice the amount in terms of PSF. So I think it's a little bit mind-blowing. When I first saw the news, I'm like, what the hell is happening, man? But I mean, we expected Sky Waters to be high, but to hit 6,000 is a whole new different level. I probably was looking at maybe 3 plus, 4,000 plus, but 6,000 plus is wow. Anyway, 6,000 PSF mark hasn't been breached ever since October 2022, when this I don't really, correct me if I'm wrong lah. Okay, I'm not very good with names. This is Les Maisons Nassim. Previously it hit 6,000 plus PSF, or 68 million for quite a big unit. But even this, the PSF was lower. But now we are talking about 99 year, and I think Nassim is still one of the most prestigious lah. That's why, to put into scale, if you compare this one, of course you're not talking about as high a floor as this guy over here. This is more of a lower density kind of development, because there's only like 10 plus units available. Later we take a look a little bit at the chart. Previously, last time the highest all-time high was back in 2011. That was 13 years ago. 6,650 PSF. Till now, this is still the record high ever. This guy is not even alone. Previously, there was another guy from the duo. 6,650 is not enough. There's still another one. There's 6,215. Okay. And then this Sky Waters Residences, there's apparently, I don't know why, there's one bidder. So a little bit weird, because given the demographics, people buying this kind of area, they're buying more for luxury. Why would they buy a one bidder? That's a big question mark. Anyway, the guys that they ended up buying, they had a private viewing. This development, for what we know, is not launched to the main public yet. Anyway, probably most of the demographics that they are targeting are not the main mass public kind lah. Yeah, pardon me, my voice is totally nasal because my nose is entirely blocked. Okay, definitely hope it's not COVID. Tested already. For now, it's not COVID. But, well, let's hope so, because you never know what's the new strain, right? So everyone, please take care of yourself. Back to this. Since January 1995, there's only 49 transactions of non-landed homes at 5,000 PSF and above. Then this guy apparently is not even a Singaporean, he's a foreigner. That means we are talking about ABSD of 60%. Some people are guessing that this is a US citizen, or either of the same countries that they have the free trade agreement, so that they are not exposed to the 60% ABSD. But I highly doubt so. I don't think it's American lah. Okay, for some reasons that we shall not mention over here. But yeah, but I think it's a certain nationalities which I shall not disclose. Okay. But what they are saying over here is that number of purchases by foreigners has been creeping up steadily. Because last time when they just increased the ABSD, everyone got a knee-jerk reaction. It was crazy. Honestly, it's crazy. 60%. if you think about it, today you invest 100 million house because these guys are capable of doing the kind of thing. In fact, the highest residential transaction is way above 100 million for those of you who have no idea. So if we just put into a simple number, let's say a $100 million house, 60%, that means you are paying $160 million for a $100 million house. And that money is not coming back because there is no ABSD remission for foreigners. But now we have more and more foreigners buying. Maybe some of them are some of the still countries, but I'm pretty sure not all of them are. So if we take a look, this is the purchase price. We take a look at the stamp duty that this guy is paying. 60% alone is the ABSD. Then you still haven't forget about the buyer stamp duty, which is taxable on every single residential transaction. And that means this guy who bought 47 million had to pay taxes of 31 million. Just one guy. We really need to thank him for nation building. 31 million is very useful amount of money. But this guy, great service to our country. So I think we need to salute him. This is an incredible amount of taxes to be paid. So of course, if the foreigner end up there, they didn't disclose the nationality of that foreigner. But if they do end up the biggest deal country, then okay lah, good lah. Although I highly doubt so lah, I really don't think so lah. Hopefully there's some news that we can share a little bit more light. But we take a look at some of these record high transaction PSF developments, and also these two just for fun because this one 199. Then we compare. Skywaters is about 6,100 the one that transacted. That means it puts the 99 guy over here, somewhere around here. The mark at Patterson Hill, last time it started at about 4,000. Then it went up to this guy, this champion here, all-time high, at 6,000 plus, over 7,000. Came all the way down. And then if you take a look at since 2007, thereabouts to today, that means about 14 years, it has been going almost relatively flat. So definitely this is not a place for investment for sure. These CCI areas are more for flaunting kind of way. It's more of flaunting your wealth. It's like buying a Ferrari is never an investment. It's more of maybe an investment in your status, but it's definitely not a financial investment. So these guys are buying more for, I feel, it's more of like a trophy product that they are trying to possess and use it more like a show off. On the other hand, we go by chronological order lah. Orchard Residences 99 years, directly above MRT, and then a whole lot of branded stuff out down there. Well, went up all the way here since 2008, has never looked back. I think it's almost the same level or at the same level as when it first launched. On the other hand, Sculptura Amor went up, came down, went up again. So I don't think, some people think, hey, this one go up, make money. But the thing is that, will there be, what are the chances of the next one coming down again? Because the pattern is like this. So what makes people think that this one is going to be like this and this and this? Unlikely, right? So I think more of the pattern like this. And this is quite typical of rather, I wouldn't really call it boutique because these are ultra luxurious development. So I don't really think boutique is the right word to use here. And then this just now we had this difficulty trying to pronounce, unfortunately. Les Maisons d'Arsim, same pattern, go down, come up, go down again. Then after that, ever since year 2022, I was presumed, maybe the start of 2023, now it has been going, or rather nobody transacted lah. Same for these two. Nobody transacted since about more than 1 year ago already. That means these properties are pretty much illiquid in this sense because you are trying to target those ultra high net worth people. If they like, they buy. You don't have to talk about investment, and today is not about investment. Maybe investment, like I said, in their status, but if you are talking about making money, these guys probably make money through property is the last thing on their mind because their businesses or whatever source of money that is coming from is definitely going to be much higher than a Singaporean property. And of course, unless you're talking about main masses, people like us, we need the money from property profit. Then because 6 figures is a lot of money to us, but unless you're saying 6 figures is nothing to you, then I don't think this is the channel that you are looking at lah. Because we are talking about very different demographic. And of course, the last one will be our dear friend over here, which we already talked about quite a few times, so I'm not going to spend much time talking about it. Transacted around this level and then came down, crashing. Some people call it like a good bargain, but maybe it's the same case scenario. Came up. Does this mean this is a good bargain, or is it what we call a value trap? Okay, same goes for here. Came down, this seems like quite a good bargain, and then ended up underwater. Okay, so you need to know what you're getting into lah. And these people, I'm not exactly sure whether they really know what they're getting into, but I'm pretty sure their motives for getting into this are not as simple and as clear cut as most of us, the average crowd lah, I would say. Yeah, so probably my reading is really, really bad today. So I probably, pardon me if I have a very, very nasal kind of voice. This will be the typical reaction for most people, especially those people that are waiting, all the bears, they are waiting for the property market to come down. And then they'll be waiting. Because why these people that are bears of the property market in Singapore, they're kind of waiting in a way in vain, because you also need to factor in, you fail to factor in that there are a lot of people that try to get into Singapore, and then you look at this, Singapore population has been steadily rising over the years. All these are data from the official sources lah in Singapore, so you can go and take a look at it. Someone just go and simple Google them, you're going to find all this. So there's no way we're going to cook up all this data. I think simple reason why we have population increase even though we don't have high birth rates is simply because we got a whole bunch of people being granted PRs and also granted SC, and some are even granted by descent. That means kid lah. And then if you look at our citizen birth has been unfortunately steadily declining, but Singapore cannot keep having declining and aging population. If not, then our country is gonna suffer. That's why government has to be pragmatic, look forward and plan for all of us, because it's their future at stake lah. I think it's quite simple to say that it's their future at stake and our future at stake. And that's why we are in a way importing all this talent, and it's not easy to get PR, and it's also not easy to get SC. That means usually most of them, they're pretty decent backgrounds, pretty decent income level. Not all, of course, but most of them will be a certain level of income, and these guys cannot come in and buy HDB. They cannot buy HDB. Some of them maybe they are sick and tired of renting. They are looking to buy private, and that kind of forms the demand. Not all, of course. Some, if they stay longer, they decided to wait for HDB to be PR family. They had to wait for 3 years. I decided to wait for 3 years, and then they get the HDB. They also push up the HDB prices. And then you've also got those of them who don't bother waiting, and they can afford, they will go into the private market, and this forms the basic demand of the property market. And that's why, in a way, the bears will have a tough time waiting. Of course, if you are expecting this kind of movement like last time, I highly doubt we're going to see this kind of thing happening again, because the government has been very, very, very clear in their stand that we are not going to see this. They don't want to see this kind of thing anymore, because it's unhealthy for the market, and I wouldn't want to see this. Of course, it's nice to make this much more profit, because this is almost like 2007, 2008 to 4008. It's a crazy jump within less than a year, maybe about a year, because this is like how many quarters? 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. We need a span of maybe from 2008 to 4008 PSF. You're almost making like a 80%. Am I right? 80% gain in this market. I think if you are taking in the leveraging factor, I would rather bank on this than bank on those crazy to-the-moon stocks lah, because I'm not really kind of stocks person. Of course, those people who know how to play stocks, they can stick with stocks lah. But if you are looking at property, I think with the leverage factor, this is going to be a very, very attractive investment. But the problem is that everyone thinks that they are good, and they get in here, the next thing they know, they came down here, and then they are forced to sell because margin call. So government don't want this anymore. We don't want to see this anymore. And I think if I were in this era, I really don't think I will have the guts to buy, to put that much money into property, because you never know, because you may think that you are getting into here, but who knows, maybe when you really think you are getting into here, you are actually here. I'm not exactly a very high risk taker lah. I think most of my friends know me. I'm not a high risk taker, so I don't think this is the kind of. But of course, there are a lot of people who are very willing to take high risk. But to each his own lah. Okay, so in short, I think this is quite an interesting piece of news for our property market. In case you're wondering, no, I don't think that this 6,000 plus PSF person is going to drive out the whole market for sure. This is just going to be a one-off, definitely one-off outlier. But of course, some other people are going to say that, hey, 99 years is going to be 6,000 plus PSF. And that's why, buying a 99-year, 3,000 plus PSF at RCR, then that sort of nonsense is justifiable. It's not as simple as it is. There are a lot more factors that needs to be examined before we can justify it simply that whether 3,000. I'm not saying that 3,000 definitely can't buy. But it really depends on where and what are you exactly buying into, and what are your entry and exit strategy. All these you have to factor in. You have to be very clear from the start what you're actually buying in for, and then how you're going to exit. If you have no idea of this, then I don't think property is really the right place for you to put your money in terms of investment. But if you're just buying for own stay, like this guy over here, I really hope that he's buying for own stay and he's just buying for the awesome, superb view that he's going to get. If that is his pure aim, then I don't think he's going to regret for sure. But if you're buying to make money, then you have to be very careful about what you're actually buying and make sure you seek the right professional advice. Alright, that will be all we have for today before my nose crumble. So thanks guys, see you guys, bye bye.